Huerta was born on April 30th, 1930 in Dawson, New Mexico. Her dad was a first-generation Mexican-American and her mom also had Mexican heritage. Her family relocated to Stockton, California, where she was immersed in a diverse community of Mexican-Americans, African-Americans, and Filipino-Americans. This environment nurtured her awareness of racial and social inequalities from a young age. Her mom ran a hotel where she welcomed low-wage workers and often helped those in need, which instilled a sense of social justice and generosity in Dolores. Her dad was a farm worker and eventually became a union activist and a New Mexico state legislator, influencing her perspective on labor rights. In 1962, Dolores Huerta co-founded the National Farm Workers Association with Cesar Chavez. She was a key figure in organizing and advocating for farm workers' rights alongside Chavez. Her passion for activism began while she was a teacher. She was disturbed by the poverty and hunger of her students, many of whom were children of farm workers. This inspired her to become involved in labor organizing and social justice work. She played a pivotal role in the 1965 Delano grape strike, helping to organize farm workers to fight for better wages and working conditions. She was a lead negotiator during the strike, which eventually led to the first collective bargaining agreements for farm workers. She's credited with coining the famous slogan, "Si se puede," yes we can, during the farm workers movement. This phrase became a rallying cry for labor rights and social justice and was later adopted by other movements, including Barack Obama's presidential campaign. She was instrumental in lobbying for the passage of the Agriculture Labor Relations Act of 1975 in California, which allowed farm workers to bargain collectively for better conditions, marking a historic win for labor rights. In addition to her work in labor rights, she has been a strong advocate for women's rights. She has spoken out about gender inequality, supported feminist causes, and encouraged women to take leadership roles in their communities and organizations. She has been arrested more than 20 times for her activism and participation in nonviolent protests. One of her most notable arrests occurred in 1988 when she was severely beaten by police while protesting George H.W. Bush's presidential campaign. Her injuries were so severe that she had to undergo multiple surgeries. In 2012, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor of the United States, by President Barack Obama. This recognition highlighted her decades of work fighting for social justice and workers' rights. Throughout her career, she has championed civil rights for various marginalized groups, including immigrants and the Latino community. She has worked to end racial discrimination and ensure that people of all backgrounds have access to equal opportunities. Even in her 90s, Dolores Huerta continues to be an active voice for social change. She founded the Dolores Huerta Foundation, which focuses on community organizing, voter engagement, and education to build social justice movements.